are not in a very difficult situation. As it has been observed, I have noted that about 70 people have lost their lives, 22 others are injured, 8 persons are missing, 24,000 households have people displaced, equivalent to about 120,000 people, and in totality, 131,000 people are affected. I want to thank our development partners and the humanitarian agencies for coming and for in this matter. But during the worst drought in 40 years, you came through for this country and the Kenyan people. Again, during the El Nino phenomenon, you were here, you came through. Again, you are here. We are always very grateful. We want to say kudos to the Red Cross, that you are always there for the people of Kenya, and your response has always been fascinating and very effective, and we want to urge you to continue having that support. We want to do several interventions so that we make sure that we don't lose more lives. We make sure children are able to go to school. We make sure that there is no fear and panic among the people of Kenya, so that everybody feels comfortable that several interventions are being made. I want to thank the technical team that has been meeting here and the recommendations that you have made. I want to respond to the issues of Nairobi. They are very urgent. And I think the food bridge is the one Governor Sakaja has talked about. I have told the CS Murkomen, I hope the DG Kura is here. Kura. Is Engineer not here? You are the one who is here? It appears you are here. I think we have agreed quickly. You mobilize contractors who are working for Kura to make sure those food bridges are restored. We are going to provide funds from the National Treasury so that we make sure children are able to go to school. I think that is something we need to do right away. I want to ask the American people, World Food Program, and others who are channeling food and non-food items through the Red Cross to give Nairobi a priority. And we have National Youth Service personnel who can assist working with the Red Cross in the distribution. So I want to request our partners to give non-food items in terms of blankets, in terms of dignity packs, in terms of food and any other items that you may have for the people of Nairobi. Yesterday, we did agree that the National Youth Service will create temporary camps for those people, and we want to ask our partners to channel food and non-food items to those people who will be in those camps so that they don't suffer unnecessarily. And I think once we do that, we'll be able to make a lot of good progress. We are in discussion with the National Treasury, and later this evening we'll be communicating to all of you. We are trying to put up about 4 billion Kenya shillings as an emergency intervention from the National Treasury, and we'll make sure at least that the NYS that is doing a lot of work is sufficiently facilitated with resources to be able to carry out the work of settling the people who need to be settled, unblocking drainages, trying to help with the dams where the water is coming from. We'll be able to put some resources to the National Disaster Operations Center so that the people there are able to stay there 24 hours to monitor the situation across the country and propose and initiate the necessary interventions that are required. We'll be able to put some resources to the National Police Service, to the Coast Guard, and to the Ministry of Interior as coordinating and logistic interveners in this matter. That we shall be able to do. We'll also be able to put some money, some resources to the roads department through the various agencies so that we can be able to restore the bridges, we can be able to make sure that we help in unblocking the drainages, and where roads have been broken, they can be restored so that people are able to go about their work. We'll be able to put some resources to the public health state department to be able to make sure that we don't have disease outbreaks, to make sure that issues of cholera and malaria are contained, because where we have a lot of water that is overrunning the slums and the sanitation challenges, we could easily have disease outbreaks, and this is something that we must deal with. In terms of the Department of ASAL, will be able to provide some funds for food and non-food items so that we can harness the efforts of our development partners who are also providing food and non-food items. So once we firm up the details with the technical committee and the CS National Treasury, in an hour or so, we'll be able to inform you what we'll be able to make available so that we make the necessary interventions. We have also asked the National Treasury to give priority to counties that have been affected so that they can access funds owed to them for the purposes of emergencies. And again, even where you have exhausted the funds, Governor Sakaja, you can still reallocate within your own space, because at the end of it all that money that you have is for the people of Nairobi. And if they are dead and carried by water, there will be nobody to enjoy those services. So we are going to look at the CS National Treasury. In an hour or so, we'll give you the list of all the counties that are affected so that you look at the requests that have been made for cash disbursement, and those counties will be given the first priority so that they have funds available to be able to make the necessary interventions. We are willing and ready to work with counties in this matter and all other matters. And Governor Mombasa, I'm very happy today you are here. The other time we did not work together because you did not come to work with us, you were talking in a baraza. Then we decided to endelea. But now that you are here, I'm very happy. It's always my joy, that of my boss, President William Ruto, to work together. So to takubaliana, so that we make sure that things are going on okay in Mombasa and other parts of the country. I agree, Governor Sakaja did a very good job last time. In fact, Nairobi, there were no issues in terms of drainage. It was a very, very good job. And I agree, you may have exhausted your funds, but you must also appreciate that Nairobi is huge, with a huge population, and your budget is equally huge. So you must try to see, even as we assist you to restore the bridges, we'll see where we can help, but we also encourage you to see what reallocation you can do so that we can work together. PS Belio, I don't know what is your advice in the school situation in Nairobi. I don't know whether you have done an analysis to make a decision whether we keep the reopening day or we extend by a day or 2 or 3 or whatever. I don't know whether you have thought it through. What is the position? Give him microphone so that we know what is the situation for the governor's comfort so that we are able to plan.
Sir, in Nairobi County, we have 64 schools which are substantially affected, mainly in classrooms and the wash facilities. So for Nairobi, we had guided this morning that for some of these, we can deal with them as local issues so that we don't need to ask all schools not to open, but we can deal with them on isolated cases, because in Nairobi we have 210 public schools and almost 800 private schools. So far we have identified 64 which have totally been affected. Thank you, sir.
So what will happen? You will extend or you, depending?
The 64 we might delay their opening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. I think that is clear, Governor. What will happen is that make recommendations to the PS basic education. Case by case, it will be analyzed on its own merit. Where there is need to extend the opening day, Waziri Education, we can extend. But otherwise, for the purposes of the country, the schools will reopen as scheduled, as planned. But where there are cases where the people on the ground, the county governments, plus the national government administration and the directors of education in those respective counties make a recommendation to the PS, basic education, we can always extend for a few days as things settle down. I think we are quite flexible, we are quite open, and for those 64 schools, the ministry, working with the Nairobi County Director of Education, will make an assessment, and where they need to extend for a day or 2 or 3 for a week, depending on the severity of the matter, that decision will be made. But in principle, the school reopening date remains the same, subject to specific cases where they are reviewed and recommendations are made and a decision will be made by the PS. Is that okay, Governor Sakaja?
Yes, just a slight amendment. I'd request, beyond just the infrastructure challenge within the schools, allow us to also map out the areas where movement to the schools would be dangerous for the children, because we don't want children now also to try and cross some of these bridges or some of the areas, so that we can add that consideration, Your Excellency.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, Governor, we will work very closely.
Thank you, sir.
The PS is here, and we work closely. Depending on the recommendation that you make, an assessment will be made and directions will be given so that we make sure that our children are safe. You know, we must have safety as the most important aspect of the entire intervention. So I think case by case, the ministry is available, it is ready to make decisions depending on how the case is. I don't know, Red Cross, are you here? Do you have some food for Nairobi and food items for the people we want to put in a camp by NYS?
Yes, we have, and we have started the distribution today in some of the camps.
Very good.
Yes.
Director DG NYS, are you here? Is the DG NYS here? Or is a representative? I don't know, CS Public Service? Is the camps ready for relocating the people who are in danger?
Following the visit we had with the governor yesterday, the schools and other facilities that are serving as temporary shelters appears stable for now. So we decided to manage them from there.
Okay.
And only move them if need be. But so far we have got, especially in Madare area, we have got 9 camps. We can use our personnel, but avoid moving them now until there's a case for it.
Thank you. The National Disaster Operational Center at the General here remains open 24/7, so that where you feel there is an issue that requires urgent attention, that requires intervention, you report, and it is open 24 hours for response. Let me take this opportunity to thank the media owners and their association for your very gracious offer to give us airtime worth 100 million. I think then our teams from public health, from security, let us start developing the messages, you know? And I think you may want to start when we finish here. You can record one from me appealing to the people of Kenya. Then you run it today, then we see the whole thing is real and is working. So that, because information is important. As I said yesterday, we appeal to the people of Kenya, as much as government is intervening, to be responsible for their own lives and their own safety, and for them not to dare nature. In where we have lost lives, in several cases, is Kenyans who are very adventurous. They can see clearly. The waters are ferocious. They are carrying cars away. They are carrying cats away. They are sweeping everything, and they still want to cross. And they can see their weight is not that of the vehicle that is being swept. And they still do. So we're asking the people of Kenya also to be responsible for their own lives. And they must know that even if they don't want to leave, they have families who depend on them. This is an appeal that we are making to the people of Kenya. And we also want to ask the media in that offer, please also help us. You know, muko na sauti munasikizwa. muambie wa Kenya tafadhali wajichunge, kwa sababu hata tukiwasaidia kama serikali, we can only do so much. We cannot police them. We cannot handcuff them so that they don't jump into the river. They just have to exercise caution and be responsible for their own lives. And they must also know that they also carry the aspirations of many other people, including their families. And therefore, it is, it's upon them really to be very responsible and not to their nature, because they will be the losers. So I want really to thank the media. We'll ask people, the respective ministries, to start now developing content. And we can also we'll also come up with a strategy where we can make people available to come for interviews. Then you give them, airtime, then they are able to talk to the people of Kenya. On top of that, we have daily briefings. We hope that in that package, you can carry those media briefings live every day, so that the people of Kenya can know what is going on and they can keep, abreast with the developments that are going on a daily basis. From what we have been told by the Meteorological Department, we expect ferocious rains today, tomorrow, Sunday, and Monday that are heavier than what has been seen before. So we are very, very, very cautious. We are alert, and assessments are being done, especially near our water dams, and so that we don't have accidents if there is a spillover. So, and we continue asking Kenyans who are on lower grounds to move to higher grounds. We are asking those who are living near the big dams, especially Kiambere, to move to safer areas, because the dam is full and the rains are still pounding. It's beyond the levels that are acceptable, so anything could happen. We don't want to cause panic, we don't want to cause alarm, but we want to be cautious. We want our people to know that there is danger ahead, and they must be responsible, and they must take measures themselves first before we move them ourselves. If there is need for us to move people, we shall do so. But we would want a situation where people who are near the dams can move themselves. Those who are on lower grounds can move to higher grounds. Those who live in counties with a history of landslides and mudslides, they know those areas very well. The areas of Murang'a, the areas of Nyandarua, they know those areas because they are known. We want to ask the people also to be proactive and also to be helpful to the situation by taking the very courageous decision to take care of themselves and their families. So I think in a nutshell, that is what we wanted to say. Let us stay alert. Let us stay available. All those who have been seconded to the Disaster Operations Center, let them be there and let them help us to coordinate the response and make sure that everything is going on smoothly. KMD, do we have any newer briefing?
Thank you, Your Excellency. The forecasting office just in the interim period, and the situation is just as we had given yesterday. We are expecting, maybe to correct something, the heavy rains is mainly today and tomorrow.
Yes.
To start subsiding from Sunday going to Monday.
Ah, very good.
And there may be a little break, but we'll give a more detailed statement on Tuesday.
Tuesday, what time? What time?
From 12:30.
No, give us exact time. You know, we have an offer from the media, and it's one of the items we want them to come and cover live as a way, again, of informing the people of Kenya. So if you say the time and the venue, the media owners are here, they'll come and give you live coverage.
3 p.m., sir, at the Kenya Meteorological Department headquarters.
Fine.
Yeah.
But set a media alert. Let
Okay.
your communication team communicate to our media houses that there will be a press conference at this time, at this venue, and this is a topic, so that they can come and give you coverage.
Well guided, sir.
Thank you. Any question? Anybody with a burning question? Anything that has not come out clearly that you think we need to clarify? So thank you very much. I want to say thank you to everyone who is here. Let us continue discussing. Let us continue engaging. Let everybody do his or her part. And PS roads, please move with speed so that tomorrow we start building those bridges so that the people of Nairobi can go to school. Asanteni sana. Thank you very much. Asanteni. Thank you.